there, everyone. Welcome to the Logical Fallacy, and we have a very, very special video today to react to. So this is from Rec D, and this we recently finished on the channel. We played through Indigo Park Chapter 1, made by Unique Geese, and that was really, really cool. That was an amazing experience. I'm really, really excited to see what they come up with next. But this right here is actually a fully animated version of the song that played in the credits, which was actually really, really good. I really enjoyed that song. It was really, really well put together. And I love the kind of like the transition that brought chapter 1 to a close. So we're gonna look at that and react to this. So this is from Rec D. So we're gonna jump right into this. Just released. So let's just jump right into it.
Hey, buddy! You okay? You look kind of tired. Do you need a moment? Don't worry, it's fine. I don't blame you for taking a rest after all.
I do have to stop it for a second. So I think what we can all agree, one of the best parts of Indigo Park, without a doubt, like, Rambley was probably one of the best characters in there. Not to say anyone else was bad or anything. It was just one of the things too. It was, you know, he was one of the characters most present. But the animations for Rambley in the game were absolutely incredible. And the animation here is really, really good. It definitely matches kind of what we saw in the game. I love this. This is really cool.
Heck, I could go for a nice, relaxing defragmentation myself. But before you settle down, you up for a little survey to help us improve the park? Absolutely. Thanks for visiting Indigo Park. Hope all your dreams came true. If you've got some time and you're up for a lark, stick around for the Rambley review. I'm here to offer my best to each valuable guest I assist. And lots of happy feedback ensures I get to exist. Let's try.
I didn't like the death one. I don't want to die, or Rambley to die. And I love that line, ensures I get to exist. Like the fact that, like, you know, Rambley only really is, and that's an interesting thing in the game too, is like he says that, you know, he's been confined to the front. And I'm wondering if that's because no one had been around, so he didn't have a reason to, in essence, exist until we came there, you know, and so he was confined until we were able to you know, let him through. So our feedback, in a way, ensured he was able to, you know, exist. I like that line. And also, the way they did the song in the actual game was actually really, really cool. This animation is fantastic, but I really, really like the end credits. Like, we see it right there with the text. That's really cool. That was kind of how it was with the game. It was kind of formatted like with like exe windows. That was really, really cool. But this is a solid animation. I really, really like.
Were you satisfied with the rides?
Yes
or no? Were you satisfied with your guide? I sure hope so. Do you plan to come back? Will I see you again? Did your experience convince you to tell a friend about us? Did I earn your trust? At Indigo Park, there is a stark contrast to everything I know that.
Why does Rambley look so sad? Rambley memory. Oh, that's cool. That it's like the slideshows for the theme parks. That's cool. That's really cool. Like the memory-o-matics. Yeah, I get that. That's a cool reference. I really like
this place should be, but out of the dark. You've given a spark of sunshine to this kingdom's faithful devotee.
And that goes back to kind of what I was talking about earlier, about us, like, kind of giving him life, sort of, like, you know, reigniting his need to exist, right? Which, that's a very interesting thing. Like, Rambley, I think whenever you think of an AI in a game, you immediately think of the villain, and, you know, we'll see how that pans out. I think that he'll definitely at some point probably become a sort of antagonist, sort of, in a way, like just there will become confrontation, I think, as the game goes on, because we see that Rambley isn't he doesn't like everybody, so he has the ability to not like everybody. And so I feel like if we got on his nerves, or like pushed him too far, or did something to the park, because it is interesting, we're trying to find our own answers, and so I'm wondering if those answers end up conflicting with the park, the future of the park, or reveal something if Rambley won't respond to that. So some really interesting potential with the story for this, but this I love the art and everything for this.
At Indigo Park, more than my remarks are mystery.
why do I? Oh my goodness! Why do I love that so much? You know what that looks like? That looks like an angry mom. Like, no joke, that looks like someone who's like an angry mom, and this is like the scared child, and the mom's like, "What the heck are you doing right now?" And I love Rambley's just chilling right here.
Even I don't know what we might find, but fight through the dark, and I'll be your spark of sunshine to get you out of any bind. That is, if you want to keep going. Oh, idea! I know all of this isn't fair to you. It's an awful lot to ask. But here comes Rambley Review Part 2 to sell you on our task. I'm here to view and assess each valuable...
Not to keep pausing it, but I'm reacting to it. But I love just like the different changes, and like the way that the art and the way the animation is coming across, like with the view-o-matic, and like the just like the different ways. That's the one thing I really appreciate about animation, and especially like I feel like something more you can do with like 2D animation is the ability to like mix styles and things. Like there's so many different like layers and stuff that just went into this, especially for something that like this is very much to highlight the work that they did on this song. That was just like an ending credit song, but the way they did it even in the games was really creative, and it just like highlighted it. It reminds me of some other games who have kind of done similar things, like Kineto Pet recently did that, or like Doki Doki Literature Club. That's another one that kind of, it's like a nice bow on the gift, like a nice like send off, like you have a song at the end that kind of like wraps everything up, or like just concludes, and kind of nice contrast to everything.
Guest as I learn, and lots of happy feedback ensures you're gonna return. Right. I'm so happy you rode a ride and saw the show. I'm so happy to be your guide. More than you know. So come back anytime. I'd love to see you again. In all my thousands of days, I've never had a friend like you. At least I hope I do. At Indigo.
And that's an interesting line right there. And that goes back to me wondering if confrontation is going to come up at some point, because we're exploring the park, we're trying to figure out what's going on. Like in the beginning we had like a note thing of questions that we're trying to figure out, and we're trying to find answers, and for a reason, so we have our own personal goal. And it's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic.
Park. There is a stark contrast to everything I know this place should be. But out of the dark, you've given a spark of sunshine to this kingdom's faithful devotee. At Indigo Park, more than Indigo Park.
Wait a second.
Faithful devotee.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know how much this reflects on the lore, but this makes sense to me because it's something that we see in the game. But this right here, that's really interesting. And you know what, that actually answers a question. So like at the end, when Macaw ends up, dying in the chapter. Spoilers for chapter 1. I should have put that out there. Which I guess this kind of is going through the chapter. But it's really interesting how Rambley doesn't really, like, he doesn't acknowledge what happened, especially since he's said that like she's his friend, but he's like an AI. He isn't like a mascot in the same way that the others are. But seeing this, it's an interesting idea that he doesn't see it that way. Like, he sees them as they are meant to be viewed, and so like whenever that happened, he didn't understand it. That's interesting. That's an interesting idea. Like, he doesn't understand the truth. He only sees it how they're like programmed to behave.
At Indigo Park, more than my remarks are mysteries. Even I don't know what we might find, but fight through the dark.
Here it is.
And I'll be your spark of sunshine to get you out of any bind. Till all my old
Called it. And here's the thing. This is just, animations, but this is, someone who worked with, on the game, right? And that's why I'm kind of reading more into it. I'm not going to say this is like 100% lore, but it's giving me ideas, which is interesting. And I really like the lore that's been set forth kind of going forward. So this is interesting.
sunshine to get you out of any bind.
Also, hold on. Why did Rambley have that's not like, I don't think that's Salem's hat. But he like used this
To get you out of any bind. Till all my old friends are united again, and I won't feel so left behind. Okay, I'll let you go. See you next time, buddy. Please?
Yeah. That was fantastic.
Hey, if you like this song, then why not subscribe?
I will.
Watch me play games weekends and nights streaming live. Check out my Patreon for special rewards. Catch me on Twitter and join my fan.
So yeah, this was the official animated music video from the creator of the song, Recti. I'm not actually sure if how much other work they did on the game, if it was just that song, but either way, absolutely fantastic. That was really, really good. But yeah, it highlights kind of an interesting conflict and a lot of potential with the character for Rambley. It's a very interesting. I think there's a lot of like character development there, as well as conflict that could happen, especially with us like seeing that like Rambley's very optimistic and trying to figure out everything that's going on. Like, it doesn't seem like he's able to comprehend everything that's going on. So it makes me wonder, right, if that's really what Salem did, right? Because in the glitchy game, Salem, takes away the I'm trying to think of the full name, but all I can think of is Macaw. But her like friendship with Rambley. But I'm wondering if it's actually more that Salem showed her the reality of what they are. And that's an interesting thing. That's a very interesting idea. Is that like, this isn't like they're being aggressive towards us because they know what they are, in a way. it's interesting how each of them are like aggressive in a different way, but some aren't. You know, it's very interesting. But anyways, this was the Rambley review by RecD featuring Otterboy VA, Indigo Park Chapter 1, credits official animated music video. That was absolutely amazing. I loved that. But if you guys have any other reactions you guys want me to do, just post them down below. You know, not to guarantee I'll react to them or anything, but I will look at them and I will think about it. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time.